Today I will be talking about the exciting world of neck cradles, so stick around. Hey everybody, it is Aaron at Warmouth, and if you are new to working on guitars, you may not know what a neck cradle is. But if you've been playing guitar for any length of time, you've probably at least had a chance to change strings on a guitar, and you know that it can be pretty awkward finding a good platform to do that on. Sometimes you do it in your lap or leaning up against something. Sometimes you try and do it on your dining room table. It's a lot easier when you have a flat area to lay it on, and it's even easier still when you have something to cradle the neck in. And by the way, I can't say cradle anymore without thinking of that scene from A Knight's Tale where he says, "Get it in the cradle!" So I'm going to have that playing through my mind through this whole video. But basically what a neck cradle is, as the name implies, is something that cradles your neck while you're working on it, or even while you're changing strings. You know, changing strings can be awkward if you're trying to do it in your lap and you've got to balance your guitar while reaching to the end of the headstock to wind the strings. Some people just do it on their dining room table so that they have a nice flat platform for that. But you need something to cradle your neck, especially if you have a tilt back headstock, because you don't want to lay your guitar down and have your neck resting on the end of a tilt back headstock. It's not good for the neck, and it just makes the guitar awkward to work on. So the solution is to put a cradle under the neck so that it elevates the neck off of your platform and the body still rests on the platform. And so I'm going to go over a couple of different kinds. And probably the cheapest and easiest neck cradle solution is a rolled up towel. And people use these all the time, especially if you're just a casual luthier. This is easy, cheap. You probably already have like 5 of them in your house. Those would be the pros. The cons are it's not particularly elegant. It's difficult to change the height. If you need a different height, you know, that a towel is what it is. You have to go find a different towel or like try and unroll it a little bit. I don't know. It's just, for me, it's not the most ideal solution, but as you can see with this guitar here, it does work perfectly fine. And you can change strings and do all kinds of stuff with just a rolled up towel. Another con is that, you know, you can't take a shower. Unless you're rich enough to have more than one towel, you know, ooh la la, then it's no big deal for you. But yeah, a towel is a perfectly viable solution. Another cheap solution that I see all the time are cork neck cradles, and I don't have one to show you, but I'm not a fan of cork because it tends to be a little fall aparty, which I'm not a fan of. But they are out there, and maybe the fall apartiness doesn't bother you. But the cork ones I'm not a fan of. And the next one is this, and this is a product made by Stumac, and it is called a rock and roller neck cradle, I think is what they call it, or a rock and roller neck rest or something like that. And this also has cork here, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it is nice in that it rocks, so it can accommodate, you know, various different angles. But I have some things I don't like about this. First of all, when you set a guitar in it, you know, the electric guitar works just fine in this one, but if you have an acoustic guitar, you need something generally a little taller because the acoustic body is thicker. Well, with this product, first of all, I think it's about 40 bucks, and you can't change the height. If you want one for acoustic, then you've got to buy the acoustic one, and the acoustic one is like 50 bucks. So to get 2 neck cradles to accommodate electrics and acoustics, you're basically in 90 bucks. So it is not a cheap solution. Also, again, I just don't like the cork part that much. I mean, to be honest, I haven't had much of a problem with this one falling apart, but it's just not my favorite. And a bigger problem that I find with these is they tend to be a little tippy. The base is the same width as the top, and for that reason it just tends to be a little tippy, which isn't a problem most of the time. But if you're, if you're doing something and you're giving a little pressure on the nut or something, it can be a little tippy, and I am not a fan of that. And the third option is this, and this is a product from Music Nomad. It's called the Cradle Cube, I think, and this is my favorite. It has become my favorite, and I shall tell you why. First of all, when you put a guitar in it, it has multiple heights just built right into it. So you can lay it on its side. That works for electric. If you need a little bit more height out of it, you can just stand it up, and that works for acoustic, or maybe a neck with a real back-angled headstock. But the other thing I like is that the bass is a little wider than the top. If you put a ton of pressure on it, it'll still tip, but it's not nearly, see, I just knocked half the stuff off my bench. It's not nearly as tippy as the StewMac one. And also there's no cork or wood. It's got this kind of like sticky or grippy rubber on it that just does a really good job of making everything stay where it's supposed to stay. And best of all is that it's my favorite, and it's also half the price of the cheapest StewMac rock and roller. These are 20 bucks, I think. And that is it. That is my 2 cents on neck cradles, and this is my favorite, the Music Nomad Cradle Cube. And I'm not affiliated with them in any way. I bought this with my own money, and they don't even know I'm doing this video. So you can take that for what it's worth. I just like it because of its flexibility, because of its cost, and in general, I'm just kind of a fan of the Music Nomad stuff. For years and years and years, there were very few places to buy guitar tools, and I think they've just come on strong in that market, and they have a lot of cool gadgets and gizmos that make working on your guitar easier and fun. But anyway, if you have any more questions about working on your guitar, or you want to know more about Warmoth's necks or bodies or the tools that we sell to do that, always check out the Warmoth website or give our customer service reps a call. And until next time, keep on picking.